The story of the Spanish language is a very, very long one, but I'll try my best to explain it in a short amount of time. Spanish was developed in the Iberian Peninsula where modern-day Spain and Portugal exist. We'll start in 2018 BC, during the Second Punic War when Rome was at war with Carthage. The Romans defeated the Carthaginians and controlled the Iberian Peninsula. This is when the Romans brought Latin. The Romans themselves were influenced by different cultures like the Greeks, and they brought these influences with them as well. The Latin that was spoken was called Vulgar Latin, meaning commonplace Latin. This Latin was the kind that commoners used to communicate with, rather than classical Latin, which would be the kind that you learn at school. Romance languages today come from this Vulgar Latin. Visigoths, Romanized and Christian Germanic nomads took over the Iberian Peninsula in the 5th century. Along with the decline of Rome, the peninsula became more and more lingually disconnected. Later in the 8th century, Arabic and Berber Muslims, known as Moors, seized the peninsula from the Christian kingdoms, calling it Al-Andalus. The influence of the culture and Arabic language on Spanish still exists today. Besides Latin, Arabic has had the most impact on Spanish. Arabic words of origin like algodón, cotton, algebra, alcohol, almohada, pillow, and alfombra, carpet, still remain in the Spanish language. The Moors were slowly defeated by the Christian kingdoms in what is now known as the Reconquista, until the last Islamic state of Granada fell to Castile in 1492. The Kingdom of Castile slowly grew, joining with and annexing neighboring kingdoms. Their language, Castilian or Castellano in Spanish, became standardized and was used for government documents. Spanish has evolved from Old Castellano to what it is today. The term Castellano is still used though, but it's used as a term for dialect differentiation, and it carries some political and socioeconomic baggage as well. It's important to know that different languages were and still are spoken in Spain, like Catalan, Basque, and Galician. So the Spanish began to colonize. The Moors and the Jewish were literally kicked out of Spain, and the Spanish language began to spread. Besides watching telenovelas, why would you want to learn Spanish? Well, Spanish continues to become more and more important, not only as the amount of speakers grow, but as the economies and influence of Spanish-speaking countries continue to rise. Spanish is the official language in 20 countries. In alphabetical order, they are Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Cuba, República Dominicana, Ecuador, El Salvador, Equatorial Guinea, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panamá, Paraguay, Peru, España, Uruguay, and Venezuela. Spanish is also the second most spoken language in the US, with 38 million speakers, and is the second most spoken language in the world. It is also one of the official languages of the United Nations. Whatever the reason, learning Spanish is easier than you otherwise thought because, well, you already know some Spanish. Many English and Spanish words are exactly the same. Actor, actor, color, color, doctor, doctor, animal, animal, hospital, hospital, natural, natural, impossible, imposible, terrible, terrible. Many words are very similar too. Association, asociación. Information, información. Attention, atención. Learning Spanish opens the doors to learning its language cousins too, like Portuguese specifically, but also French, Italian, and other Romance-based languages. Most importantly though, Spanish is a gateway into other worlds and cultures. The Spanish-speaking world covers multiple continents, countries, environments, races, ideals, and people. People all over the world have turned to Spanish into something that's special to them. Thank you.